I mentioned that the most important and destiny-changing ritual that I have known is the ancestor ritual. And I coined the word soul genetics to illustrate this phenomenon of how, just like biological genes, there are soul genes, so to say, and then you are inheriting from your ancestors both wealth as well as diseases, and everything that we have come from the ancestors' spirits, and we are linked to it. And then I gave the example of how the genome studies are trying to identify diseases in the genes. Now, going one step further, then we can identify diseases in the souls of the ancestors. Just as wealth can also be identified in the souls of the ancestors which we have inherited, like poverty too. There are sophistications that generally have been ignored in performing tarpanams. For instance, you can do tarpanams for specific problems like joblessness or losses in the business, or say relationship problems, or problems like people who died with diseases. I have a vast list of tarpanams for different issues. So I'm not going to go over all of them, but if we just mention to the people, to the asteroid, they will go and check what tarpanam is relevant for you, and then do an individual service for that. That's very important for us to do specific individual tarpanam. See, for instance, you have a dead relative died of cancer, and then there's a likelihood that, this can be transferred. Because, so just as biogenetics, soul genetics is also valid. So what you have to do is, we have to really do tarpanam for that. I have a whole list of tarpanams, which I wanted to talk about, because for want of time, I can't do that. But, if you just tell asteroid, what tarpanam you want, then they can address that particular issue, doing particular tarpanam. That's very important part. This is the most important time. This 14 days or 15 days is a very important time we should not miss. Even gods don't accept your offerings and prayers if you don't do tarpanam to your ancestors. So the prayer, in order to be effective, even though they are directed to different gods and goddesses, you have to have there is a prerequisite. The requisite is you have to have done tarpanam for your ancestors. So this is a great opportunity, and everybody has problems, unsolved problems, and the problems are mounting each day, and then everybody is troubled. So tarpanam is the answer. So I strongly recommend that don't miss this great opportunity of doing tarpanam. And then the money invested in tarpanam is worthwhile. And I strongly recommend that if we can afford, do the Mahatarpanam. If we cannot afford, then do, a group tarpanam. And if you cannot even afford anything, just do tarpanam yourself with darba grass, with tulsi and water and black sesame seed, and that will do. God bless.